So welcome. I'm going to be teaching some yoga today in the chair. My name's Ben. The only thing you'll need today are some plates for your feet. If you are more comfortable taking off your shoes, socks could also work just fine. To get started, we're going to have our feet not on our plates yet. So go ahead and take your feet off your plates so your feet are flat to the floor. And go ahead and scoot just a little bit more forward in your chair. What this does is it makes you have a little more space from the back of your chair so we can move our spine a lot. This also gives your thighs some space to move. So you want to have lots of clearance to be able to move your legs in various ways. So you're kind of sitting at the edge, but not to the point where you feel precarious. I still want you to feel stable on your chair. And then go ahead and have your hands on your thighs. Go ahead and bring your knees to hip distance apart, feet in line with your knees, so also hip distance apart. And we're going to start with some deep breathing. So go ahead and take a nice big inhale in through your nose. And then a nice long slow exhale either out your nose or your mouth. Continue like that. Feel like each inhale is getting a little taller. And each exhale is relaxing whatever's not needed to keep you tall. A couple more times at your pace of breath. You're welcome to stay just like this and breathe. If you'd like to add in some movement, when you next inhale, you can take your arms out any amount and even up any amount. When you exhale, bring your palms together to the center of your chest. Continue at your pace of breath. Your inhale opens you up. And your exhale gathers your energy, feeling centered. We can add on. Next time you inhale, take your arms up to the sky. Your following exhale can take a side bend to your left. So left hand comes to your hip or your chair. And then when you inhale, come back to center. Exhale the other side. You can give a gentle squeeze to your inner thighs as if they're holding on to something between your knees to help root your hips in place. And keep moving with your breath. Hugging your belly in to exhale, turn to side bend. Inhale, go up tall. Let's do one more each side. Following inhale comes back to center. And your exhale will lower your hands all the way back down to your thighs. We're going to inhale here, get tall. And when you exhale again, we're going to twist to your left. So left hand slides back, right hand slides forward. And then inhale, float back to center. You're going to go to the other side. Exhale to your right. Just letting your hands slide so your chest stays nice and open. Inhale to center. Get that height. Exhale, hugs your belly in and twists. Maybe look over your shoulder. Moving with your pace of breath. Good. On this next time to the left, we're going to go and stay here. So we're going to hold the posture, but don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. And you can maybe bring your left hand to the chair. Maybe your right hand swaps over to the outside of your left knee. And you're only twisting as far as your breath is smooth and steady. Maybe you look over your shoulder. And as you stay here and breathe, we'll have the option to do some eye exercises. So you can look into the left corner of your eyes. You can take your gaze to the upper left corner, down to the lower left corner, across to the upper right corner, and then maybe down to the lower right corner. Soften your gaze to a place that's comfortable, and take one more round of breath. Your following inhale can untwist, come back to center. And then when you exhale, twist to your right. Finding your hands in a comfortable place, noticing your breath. Think about each inhale getting you a little taller. And each exhale hugging your belly to your spine for support. Optional eye exercise, looking into the right corner of your eyes. Maybe look up to the upper right corner, down to the lower right corner, across to the upper left corner, and down to the lower left corner. I invite you to soften your gaze and take one more round of breath. Next, inhale, untwist, come back to center, hands on your thighs. We're going to settle here, but stay tall. Following inhale has both hands slide back to your hips, lift your chest, lift your chin. When you exhale, send your hands forward over your knees, round into your back, chin into chest. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale to feel like you're lifting your chest, letting your shoulder blades hug together behind you. Exhale, rounding in, separating your shoulder blades into the reach of your arms. 1 more on your own. And your following inhale can gently come back to center. Try to balance your shoulders over your hips and your ears over your shoulders with a tall yet relaxed spine. And take a moment to notice how you feel. Now is our time. We're going to go ahead and get our feet on our plates. And as you get your feet on your plate, make sure that your heel of your foot is on the plate. That'll make the next couple options a little bit easier. So you might scoot your feet just a little bit forward so your heel has coverage. Good. Your knees are going to stay hip distance apart, as are your feet. And you're going to try to keep a nice tall spine with your belly hugging in, with your shoulders relaxed. When you inhale, you're going to send both legs straight forward. And when you exhale, you're going to bring them right back to center, your heels underneath your knees. Keep moving with your breath. Maybe adjust yourself on your chair. Sometimes it helps to scoot a little bit more forward. Good. Inhale, expand, get tall. Exhale, return to center. You can continue just like this at your pace of breath, which may be faster or slower than me, faster or slower than your neighbor. I can also give you some options. As you inhale legs out, your toes can pull back towards your shins. Exhale, both feet come back underneath your knees. Let's try that again and just notice where you feel the stretch when you take that option. Good. Another option is to keep your feet as flat as possible, kind of point your toes down into the earth. We can try that again. Notice where you feel that, trying to keep your feet as flat as possible. Good. Now you have options. Every time you extend your legs, you get to choose. Do you want to point? Do you want to flex? Do you want to go somewhere in the middle? There's no right or wrong. Ask yourself, where do I want to feel the stretch today? And then check in. Where do you actually feel the stretch? Keep moving with your breath. If the expression of your feet is taking you away from your breath, just let your feet do its own thing and return to focusing on your breath. If you're doing this action and you're feeling like, oh, this is pretty good, I feel pretty comfortable here, and you want to challenge yourself more, we can do something a little bit differently. Whereas you inhale both legs out, one foot points, the other one flexes. Exhale, both feet come right back underneath your knees, and then do the other side. So you got to remember what you just did. Good. Now what we're doing is we're moving our legs together, but our feet do 2 different things. And again, if that complication is taking you away from your breath, let it go. Come back to your breath, make that the priority, and enjoy the movement, enjoy the process. We're warming everything up in our legs. Good. Let's do maybe 3 or 4 more, depending on what you need to feel balanced side to side. Smooth inhale in, smooth exhale out. One more time, last time, whatever you want to do with your feet. Good. Next time your feet come back on your knees, your inhale will take just your left leg out. So we're going to do one leg at a time. Exhale it back. Now we're going to go just a little bit wider. Start small. Try not to make assumptions about how far you're going to go. And each time you inhale out, you're welcome to go just that little bit wider. Good. Moving with your breath, trying to keep a tall spine. If you start to meet a place where you're feeling resistance, maybe you stay in that lane and keep warming things up. But if you start to feel pain or discomfort, I want you to come back a step and stay in that lane. The wider you go, a little bit more challenging, you might start to feel a stretch. We're going to take about 4 more movements. And ideally, we'd all kind of find that place where it feels like it's a little bit of a challenge. It takes some effort to get there, but it's sustainable. You can stay in that lane for as long as you like. There's no pain, there's no discomfort. 2 more breaths. Even if you've already found that spot, just stay in that lane and notice how you feel. Good. Now we're going to come backwards 2 steps. So we're going to inhale out, but a little less wide. Good. A little less wide still, and this time you're going to leave your leg out and start to do some foot motion. I like to keep my heel stationary so the motion in my ankle actually translates into motion of my knee and motion in my hip. What do you feel? You're welcome to add in some circles. You can go in both directions. Now, take a little mental image of how this feels. You can always come back to this anytime we do something where you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. You can do this instead. If you're ready to come back, you can exhale, bring your leg back in. We're going to keep moving the same leg, inhaling out, but a little less wide. Exhaling it back, kind of finishing our path towards center. So take maybe 3 more breaths to wind yourself in, and noticing what it feels like to go a little less wide each time you breathe. Good, and hopefully the last one has your leg going straight forward and straight back. Then we can go to the other side. Inhaling your right leg forward, exhale your right leg back. And then invite this leg to go just a little bit wider. Start small. We're going to take several movements to get to where we want to be. We're warming things up as we go. So we want to meet that place where it feels like your range of motion when we're warm. And remember that your 2 sides might be different. So allow each side to have their own experience. Your inhale takes your leg out, get tall. Your exhale hugs everything back into center. If you start to meet that place where it feels like it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's sustainable, you can stay there. But if you meet anything that feels uncomfortable or painful, I want you to back off just a little bit and stay in the lane that feels sustainable. Let's do maybe 3 more. Noticing and feeling a little bit more warmer in your right hip. Last one, meet yourself where you feel like it's that little bit of an effort, but also comfortable. And then we're going to come backwards 2 steps. So you're going to inhale out, but not as wide. Exhale, return. Inhale out a little bit smaller still, and you're going to leave your leg out, and you're going to start to point and flex your foot. Notice if that motion is also getting you motion in your knee, in your hip. Ask yourself if that's what you want. Remember, everything in this class is an option. Moving your foot in a way that feels comfortable. Start to add in those circles when you're ready. Give yourself time to go in both directions. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly exhale your leg back in. We're going to finish out our path towards center. So your same right leg is still moving. You're moving with your pace of breath, and each time you move, you're getting a little bit closer to center. Maybe 2 more breaths. And the next time you come back to center, feet underneath your knees, we're going to try something else with our legs. So you're going to sit up nice and tall, belly hugging in, and I want you to resist the urge to lean back if you can. We're going to utilize those postural muscles. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to inhale, lift our left heel off the ground like you're wearing a high heel. Exhale, set it down. Try the other side. Inhale, lifting your right heel. Exhale, the other side. And try to go slow. Take the full length of your breath to inhale, lift it up, and the full length of your exhale to lower it down. Almost like we're sneaking. The slower you go, the more energy, the more muscle energy will be required. So you're going to have a little bit more control over your body. Good. Now, if this is comfortable and you want to go further, you can inhale, lift your heel and your toe so your leg lifts off the ground. Exhale, set down toe, then heel. Good. Try the other side. Your 2 sides don't have to do the same thing. If anything is feeling painful or uncomfortable, come back to a stage that feels sustainable. If this is comfortable, we can go even further. We can inhale, lift our heel, lift our toe, and kick your leg forward. Exhale, bend your knee, set down toe, then heel. Try the other side. Again, if the complication is taking you away from your breath, we'll let go of the complication or the challenge and come back to your breath. We want to find a nice pace that is challenging ourselves, but we can maintain it. And part of maintaining it is staying with your breath. Good. I'm going to invite you to do 2 more each side, so 4 more rounds of breath, whatever level, whatever stage you want to do. Check in with your body. We're not here to exhaust ourselves. Hopefully when you're done with this class, you feel ready for your day and not ready for a nap. Excellent. Next time you bring your both feet to the ground, hands on your thighs. We're going to inhale, both hands back, lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale, send your hands forward over your knees and round into your back. Good. Inhale, imagine you're wrapping your spine around a big beach ball behind you. And then as you exhale, press the middle of your back into that beach ball like you want to pop it between you and the back of the chair. And once more like that. Following inhale comes back to center, balancing shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, and take a pause to notice how you feel. Are you feeling ready for your day? A little bit more loose, a little less tension. We're going to start to get into our shoulders. I'm going to invite you to make some gentle fists. We'll just start punching up into the sky. This does not have to match your breath, and this does not have to be any particular height. You can go small little punches, you can go big punches, you can go slow. I invite you to engage your legs a little bit by hugging your inner thighs together as if you're holding on to something between the knees, and maybe invite a little bit of a tilt to your rib cage. That same kind of tilt you'd find if you're trying to reach something on the top shelf, kind of getting your shoulder out of the way to allow your arm to reach a little bit higher. Notice if you're feeling any sensations of warming. Keep breathing. You can stop at any time. You can go longer than I do. If this is like, oh, I need more of this, please keep going. You can always catch up to us when you're ready. Whenever you are ready to stop, you can release your hands, shake out shoulders or elbows, shake out shoulders. Now we're going to bring our hands onto our shoulders like you're wearing little spiders on your shoulder pads. Elbows as wide and as high as you like. Take an inhale to sit up a little taller. When you exhale, the elbows are going to start to come towards each other and down and towards your belly. When you inhale, your elbows will go out and up. There's a little lift of your chest. Exhales, elbows come in and down. Inhale, out and up. Keep going like this. Moving at a pace that matches your breath. And only making these circles as large as is sustainable. So again, we're not here to exhaust ourselves. We're here to work with our bodies, not pushing past resistances, warming up our shoulders. You now have the option to switch the direction, inhaling your elbows up together and then out wide. Exhale down by your sides and in towards your belly. Let your spine move to accommodate your shoulders. So here we're starting to link the motion of our bodies, the motion of our spine with the motion of our shoulders. So they kind of work as one to allow ourselves to make nice fluid motions with our breath. You're welcome to continue just like this. Or maybe the next time your elbows come down by your sides and your hands on your shoulders, you pause here and we start to do these one at a time. So sit up tall. Inhale, your left elbow goes forwards up. Exhale, twist to the left and reach it to the back wall. And then try the other side. Inhale, right elbow goes forwards up. Exhale, twist to the right and reach it back and down. Keep going side to side. It's kind of like we're doing a big backstroke in a swimming pool, but we're letting our spine twist. These circles can be as big or as small as you like. You can switch this direction when you're ready. Inhaling back and up. Exhale, twist to the opposite side, forwards, down. Good. Think about sustainability. Imagine I was going to ask you to do this for the rest of class. What adjustments would you make? Go ahead and make those adjustments and do maybe 2 more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready to release, you can shake it out. Hands, elbows, shoulders. Good. We're going to let our hands dangle down by our sides. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. You're going to inhale, shrugging your shoulder towards your ears. Exhale, drop. 2 more times. Inhale like you're going, I don't know. Exhale, that's okay. I don't have to know. 1 more time. Good. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Keeping the tall spine. We're going to try to keep everything from the shoulders down stationary, and we're only going to move our head right now. So as you're ready, you're going to inhale, elevate your chin any amount. And when you exhale, you're going to slowly bring your chin in towards your chest any amount. Keep going like that, like you're making a big giant nod. But you're going slow at the pace of your breath. Tuning into any sensations of warming, any sensations of cooling. Noticing what you feel in your neck. After those 3, and you next inhale, let's come back to center, chin parallel to the floor. And your exhale, turn your head to one side like you're looking over your shoulder, any amount. And then inhale, come back to center. Your exhale will take you to the other side. Keep going side to side like you're panning the horizon with your vision. And you're only going as far as your shoulders can stay relaxed, stay facing forward. Noticing what you feel in your neck and all of the musculature between your skull and your shoulders. 1 more time each side. Going at your pace of breath. Next time you inhale, come to center. We can do some lateral flexions. Your exhale is going to drop one ear towards one shoulder. And when you inhale, gently float back to center. Try going the other side. Exhale, easing your head down with control. Your inhale gently floats it back. Keep going side to side 2 more times. I like to imagine I'm tracing a rainbow from one shoulder to the other. And each time I do this, I try to trace the next widest color. So I'm getting a little bit longer in my neck each time I make this cycle. After those 3, and you next come back to center, I invite you to take any organic movement. So what's coming up for you? Some people like to do a little more motion in their head. Some people like to roll their shoulders. You can shimmy, you can shake. There's no right or wrong. What is calling to you to move? Good. Now we can get into our hands. So I'm going to ask you to make some fists. We're going to inhale, squeeze as much as you'd like. And when you exhale, pop them open like fireworks. 2 more times. Inhale like you're going, oh, that makes me so mad. Ha! Let it out. 1 more time. Good. And then start to roll out your wrists. You can have your hands open. You can maybe curl in your fingers, your choice. You can go somewhere in between where you open and close. There's no right or wrong. Explore your wrists. And give yourself a chance to go in both directions. Good. You can stay here playing with your wrists individually, or we can try this together, bringing your palms together at the center of your chest, interlacing your fingers, and starting to make some circles with your knuckles in the air, getting some motion into your wrist here. Your palms can be together, or the palms can be loose. Maybe it looks like circles, maybe it looks more like figure 8s. That's okay too. Notice your wrists. Go in both directions. Now that we've kind of created a little bit more fluidity in the wrist, we're going to play with that fluidity. We're going to make it feel like there's a wave coming at us, and our elbows and hands are like buoys. So we're going to kind of ride a wave, making like a whip-like action through the arms. So it's kind of like a dance move. Maybe get your shoulders and spine into it as well, like you're riding these waves. Feel that fluidity through the wrists, very flexible, very open. And I challenge you to go in the other direction. Switch the current. It might be a little more challenging. Good. You're welcome to stay here and play. If you'd like to get into the front of the wrist, we can turn the hands inside out and press the palms away from you. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears and your spine tall, and spread your fingers any amount. You can have a soft bend of the elbows. Option is stay just like this and breathe. If you'd like, you can start to inhale, take the arms up any amount, but try not to re-tighten your shoulders. We just spent all that time loosening them up, so only go as high as it feels comfortable. Let's take one more inhale to get your spine taller. Exhale, release your hands all the way back down to your thighs, and take a pause here to notice how you feel. We're going to get in some postures. So you're going to bring your plates with you, and I'm going to have you turn 45 degrees to the left. So you're going to sit on the corner of your chair. I want your sit bones to kind of frame that left corner of your chair. So both your sit bones are supported, but your thighs have some clearance. Feet are on your plates, and your knees and feet will start hips distance apart. And you're sitting up nice and tall. It's almost like if someone came in and they couldn't see chairs, they'd have no idea that we're sitting on the side of our chair. We're going to start to move our right leg, which is a leg that's closer to the front of your chair. You're going to inhale it straight forward from your hip. Exhale it back. And you have the option, just like before, to go just a little bit wider. You're welcome to continue like that, and I'm going to give you another option. Your toes can point more to the left, and you keep your foot as flat as you can. So as you go out, it's almost like you're trying to hit something to me with the outside of your heel. Still with the soft spine, moving with your breath. And start to find that place where it's like, okay, if I'm feeling pain or discomfort, I'm not going to go any further. I'm actually going to come back a step. Each time you breathe, you're welcome to try going just a little bit wider, as long as it feels sustainable. The leg that's not moving can kind of firm up a little bit by pressing your heel down. Good. Let's do maybe 4 more breaths. So again, re-warm up this hip, even if you found your range of motion. And if you haven't found it, use those 4 breaths to go just a little bit wider to find it. You'll know you're there when it feels like it's a little bit of an effort, you feel a little bit of a stretch, but it's sustainable. It's not painful, it's not uncomfortable, and your breath can still move fluidly in your body. Whenever you do find it, you can find stillness, having your leg out. Make any little adjustments on your seat to make yourself comfortable. Maybe adjust your other foot, make sure it's underneath your knee. Good. And I want you to activate your legs by pressing down, almost as if someone's going to come along and try to take your plate, and you're just like, nope, pinning it down to the floor, hands on your hips. And I want you to rotate your chest to face forward in your chair as if your chest doesn't know that your hips are off to the side. This is a great place to stay and breathe. If you'd like to add in your arms, you can inhale your right arm out first. Palm faces the ground, no higher than the shoulder, so relax your shoulder. The left arm can go out as well. Hands are trying to get away from each other to help open up through your chest. And you have the option to turn your gaze out over your left hand as if you're looking above and beyond your hands. This is Seated Warrior 2. How do you feel here? Strong legs, buoyant rib cage. Your posture should be firm and comfortable. Option to stay here, or maybe we reverse the warrior. Exhale your right hand to your hip, flip your left palm up, inhale your left hand to the sky, and follow it with your gaze. Keep your legs strong, keep breathing. Feel like your fingertips want to touch the sky and your heart wants to follow it. Next inhale, let's float back to our warrior 2. Exhale, relax your arms, and go ahead and slide your back leg in. Now we're going to take a warrior 1. So now I want you to turn sideways in your chair. If you have the space, if you're not on a chair that has arms, this will be great. So you're going to make sure you turn 90 degrees from center and scoot yourself back in a way that your bottom is kind of to the back right side of your chair. So your thighs have as much coverage as they can be without you falling out the other side. And before we go anywhere else, I want you to hook your left arm around the back of your chair for safety. This will keep you from falling to your right. Now your knees are hip distance apart. We're going to try to keep them hip distance apart as we move everything to the right. So you can use your right hand pressing down, pick up your bottom, and move it halfway off your chair. So your chair doesn't move, but you do. And I want you to find a place where you are halfway on your chair and halfway off your chair. So your left thigh has as much coverage as it possibly can, and your right thigh and right sit bone is hanging slightly off the front. Almost like your spine is right on the front edge of your chair, and make sure that that left arm is still hooked around the back. Bring your knees and feet to distance apart, and imagine that they're on train tracks. We're only going to move our feet in those train tracks. You're going to slowly inhale, lift your right leg, Place the ball of the foot on the center of the plate, and then slide your plate behind you. Maybe the plate comes underneath your hip and you pause, noticing this drop of your knee. Do you feel any length in your quadriceps? You can go further. Your foot can keep going back, and maybe your knee starts to come being towards underneath your hip. As long as you still feel comfortable and stable, you can go back as far as you like. That's why we move forward, so that our thigh can drop in front of our chair without going any wider. So it's still in a nice train track line. And wherever you find your foot, I want you to activate your legs. Press down so strongly you think you might lift up out of your seat, but please don't leave your chair today. Good. Now we can add in our arms. Inhaling your right arm up to the sky. If your legs feel strong and you feel stable, you're welcome to send your left arm up as well. It could also stay on the chair. So your options are one arm, both arms, or no arms. Legs are really strong. Get your spine a little taller and breathe. If you're feeling any tightness in your shoulders, your hands can go just a little bit wider, like you're holding onto a big old beach ball. Good. Your posture is firm and comfortable. You have the option to stay here in your seated warrior one. Well, we can turn this into a twist. Maybe inhale a little bit taller with your spine. Exhale, belly hugged in, and you turn to face the back of your chair. Let your hands come down to your body or your chair. Make sure you're only twisting as far as your breath is smooth and steady. And maybe you look over your left shoulder as if you want to see your back foot. It's okay if you don't see it. You're welcome to do some eye exercises here, looking into the left corner of your eyes. And maybe take them to the upper left corner, lower left corner, across to the upper right corner, and maybe down to the lower right corner. I invite you to soften your gaze to a place that's comfortable, and take one more full rounded breath. Of course, you can stay if you'd like, or you can inhale, come out of your twist, and your exhale will slide your back leg all the way forward next to your left. Go ahead and scoot yourself forward towards your heels and halfway towards center. So we're back at the corner. We're still on the same side. We're framing the corner. Both our sit bones are coverage. And we're going to inhale our right leg out as wide as you feel like it can go. And then exhale it back. And we're going to reverse it. Inhale just a little bit less wide. Exhale, return. Keep moving with your breath, and each time you do, you get a little bit less wide, a little bit closer towards center. It's kind of like we did all this time hiking up one side of the mountain. We had this nice big peak moment, and we're walking down the other side. Notice if you feel any cooler, any calmer with each cycle of motion. Take as many steps as you'd like. You'll know you've come back to center when the movement of your right leg is keeping both thighs parallel and you're on those train tracks, just as before. Whenever you find that, you can go to the other side. Again, take as many breaths as needed to find it, and catch up to us when you're ready. You're going to find yourself on the right corner of your chair, framing the corner, so it's almost like the corner is in between the thighs. Both sit bones have coverage, and your feet and knees are hip distance apart, with your hands on your thighs, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to start to move our left leg, inhaling it straight forward, exhaling it straight back. You're welcome to go just a little bit wider. Good. Move with your breath, and each time you extend your leg, you're welcome to go a little bit wider. You're welcome to do that internal rotation where your toes point more to the right, and you reach away with your outer heel, trying to keep your foot as flat as you can. This is going to bring the whole leg to turn in. It'll be a different kind of sensation. It may mean you don't go as wide, and that's okay. But check in. Make sure that it's an option that you choose to do. And remember that your two sides are probably going to feel different. So allow each side to have their own experience.
Go up and around.
Feel your breath, move your body. And continue until you kind of find that place where you're like, okay, this is a challenge. I'm feeling a stretch, but it's not painful. It's not uncomfortable. I can stay here. Whenever you do find that, you're welcome to find some stillness. If you don't feel warm enough, you can move a little bit more in that same lane. Once you do find stillness, feel like you can make any little adjustments in your body and make sure that you're sustainable. Nothing's digging into your body as far as what your chair is doing. Activate your legs by pressing your feet down a little bit. And feel that press down offer a little bit of rise to your spine. Hands on your hips. And rotate your chest to face forward. So your elbows would point towards your neighbors instead of to me or the back of the room. Option is stay just like this and breathe. If you'd like to add in your arms, you can send your left arm out first. Remember, no higher than the shoulder, so it's nice and relaxed. And then you can send your right arm out as well. You can turn your gaze over your right hand, as if you're looking longingly into the horizon. Feel the strength of your legs, the buoyancy of your rib cage, nice soft shoulders. Enjoying your breath here. If you'd like to reverse your warrior, you can exhale your left hand to your hip, flip your right palm up like you're holding a piece of pie, and you're going to inhale your hand to the sky and drop that pie right on your face. Keep breathing here. Think about your fingertips want to touch the sky and your heart wants to lift up to follow it. When you're ready to come out, use an inhale to come back to your warrior two. Exhale, relax your arms and slide your back leg in. Now we're going to try the warrior one on this side. So we're going to turn all the way to the side, facing 90 degrees from center. And then I want you to scoot yourself in a way that you find your bottom at the back left side of your chair. And your thighs have a lot of coverage. Hook your right arm around the back of your chair for support. Sit up nice and tall. And then we can use our left hand to help press down into our seat to help pick up your bottom and scoot it halfway off your chair. So you're creating space between you and the back of the chair. Your chair isn't really moving at all, but your body is. And I want you to find that place where your spine is right at the edge, and so that your left thigh has space to move in front of your chair without having your foot going wider. Because we're going to imagine that we're on those train tracks. We're going to only move our foot in our train tracks. So you can inhale, lift your left leg, plant the ball of your foot in the middle of your plate, and slowly slide your plate back behind you to let your left knee start to drop towards the ground, any amount. Start to notice at what point do you feel some stretching in your thigh. If you feel any crunching in your knee, it may benefit you to sit up a little taller by placing something underneath your seat, like a pad or a pillow. So notice what that feels like. If you feel comfortable, keep going back. You can send your foot as far back as you like. It's not so much about how far you go, but it's about how you go. Moving comfortably with your breath. Make sure your toes are tucked and your heel is high. Good. You can have your left hand on your right knee, sitting up a little bit taller. And you can stay just like this. If you want to add in your arms, you can send your left arm to the sky. Maybe your right arm follows it, only if you feel stable in your chair. Safety first. Hands can face each other. And the hands can go a little bit wider to accommodate some tightness in your shoulders. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Feel like your back rib cage wants to elevate as much as your front rib cage. Firm up your legs, hugging muscle to bone, pressing your feet down. Almost imagine your inner thighs want to hold on to the front of your chair, or that kind of action you find if you're trying to squeeze a pool noodle.
Good one, Joe.
And enjoy your breath. If you'd like to do the twist, we're first going to inhale a little bit taller, create space in your vertebrae. Exhale, belly hugs in and twist you to your right, letting your hands come down to your body or your chair. Let your shoulders stay relaxed, and you can turn your gaze over your right shoulder any amount. Only twisting as far as your breath is smooth and steady. Maybe you look into the right corner of your eyes. You can turn your gaze to the upper right corner, lower right corner, across to the upper left corner, and down to the lower left corner. You can soften your gaze to a place that's comfortable, and take one more round of breath. Feel your inhale come wide into your rib cage. Exhale, hug belly to spine for support, and relax your shoulders. Option stay or inhale, untwist, facing back towards your right knee. Exhale your left leg all the way forward next to your right. And you're going to scoot your body back to the right corner of your chair. So you're facing partway towards center. You're 45 degrees from center. We're going to inhale, open our left leg out. Exhale, bring it back. And then a little bit smaller. So the idea is that the first one meets you in the open hip you just created. And then with each subsequent inhale, we take it a little bit less wide. Still with the tall spine. Still moving with our breath. Taking notice of how you feel as this motion gets a little bit closer to center. Whenever you feel like the motion of your left leg is keeping both thighs parallel, like you're riding those train tracks, you know that you've successfully come to center, and you can turn all the way back to face forward in your chair. Good. You can move your plates aside. We're done with them. It's helpful to get your feet flat to the floor and unmoving, so there's nothing precarious underneath your feet. Hands on your thighs, sitting up nice and tall. When you inhale, slide both hands back, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale, round into your back by sending your hands forward over your knees and tucking your tail. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting your chest. Exhale, sending the middle of your back to the chair behind you and chin towards your chest. And do 1 more on your own. And gently float back to center on your inhale to balance your shoulders over your hips, ears over your shoulders, with a tall yet relaxed spine. Take a moment to notice how you feel. We're going to get into a little concentration exercise. We're going to do this through movement. So you're going to let your left arm hang down to the left. And you're going to take a little gentle side bend to sink your left hand into an imaginary bucket of water. Let's go ahead and stir that bucket of water. This motion is designed to relax your shoulders, so you can stir in either direction. You can also swing forwards and backwards. What motion will help you relax through the shoulder just a little bit more? And you're going to let that relaxation start to overwhelm the motion. So maybe it gets a little bit smaller, until it eventually comes to stillness. You're going to turn your gaze down to look at your hand, and you're going to make a little bit of a fist with your thumbnail visible. I like to have my thumbprint meet my first knuckle, like I'm holding a piece of paper in between my first knuckle and my thumb. And you can keep your eyes on your thumbnail. That is the exercise, it's concentration. We're going to start to move with our breath. Inhaling your arm out to the side, no higher than your shoulder. Exhale across your body. Maybe your elbow bends and the thumbnail touches the other shoulder. When you inhale, come back straight in front of you and all the way wide. When you exhale, sink it back in the bucket of water, finding your side bend. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhaling out wide. Exhale across your body. Only let your thumbnail go as far as it stays in your line of sight. Reversing on your inhale. Exhale to sink it back into that bucket of water. Go and do 1 more on your own, and commit your eyes to looking at your thumbnail, regardless of what's going on behind it, regardless of what I'm doing, regardless of whether you're doing it quote-unquote right or not. When you completed that 3rd round, you're welcome to do a little shakeout of your hand. You're welcome to come back to the stirring, the swinging, whatever you'd like to do to just kind of release that experience, let it go. You've done it. Congratulations. We can come back to center and we'll try the other side. So you can let your right arm hang down to the right, lean over to the right to get a little bit of a side bend in your spine, and then offer yourself a little gentle stirring in either direction. You can offer yourself some swinging. Feel like that motion is just kind of helping to loosen up the muscles of your shoulder, and that relaxation of your shoulder starts to overwhelm the motion until you just slowly come to stillness. Turning your gaze down towards that hand, making a gentle fist with your thumbnail visible, and begin to move with your breath. Inhaling your arm out to the side, exhaling across your body any amount. Inhaling to reverse, coming back to where your arm is out to the side of you. Then your exhale will sink back into that bucket of water. We're going to do 2 more. The exact motion is less important as it is where your mind is being directed. We're directing it at our thumbnail right now. Your focus is like a laser beam. Regardless of what may be going on around you, regardless of any judgments that are present that might be thinking about your previous practice, or about any thoughts that might happen after this class. Continue to bring your mind back to your thumbnail as you move. Whenever you've done that third round, you can shake it out, you can swing it, you can stir it. Anything you'd like to do, just kind of let go of that experience. Good. Coming back to center and taking a pause to notice how you feel. If sitting with a tall yet relaxed spine is comfortable for you, you can stay just like this through our meditation. If you prefer to take a more relaxed posture, you can go ahead and sit back into your chair and get the support of the back of your chair. But make sure you bring your feet back underneath your knees with your feet flat to the floor. Hands can be in any comfortable place, so you can be palms down on your thighs for a more grounding effect, palms up for a more receptive effect, or any other position that you like. I invite you to close your eyes. If that's not comfortable for you today, that's okay. You can just look down towards the ground. And we'll begin by noticing everywhere in your body that makes contact with your chair. Feel the chair's support. Notice the places in your body that you feel a strong, heavy connection. And notice the parts of your body that you feel a soft, light connection. Maybe with each exhale you give just a little bit more of your weight to your chair without falling out or slouching. You could soften the muscles of your face and jaw. I invite you now to turn your awareness to your feet. Tuning into this part of your body that makes contact with the ground. Noticing the parts of your feet that you feel the strong, heavy connection. And the parts of your feet you feel a lighter, softer connection. Begin to tune in to the parts of your feet that you feel a subtle sensation that may be interpreted as movement of energy between you and the earth. I invite you now to turn your awareness to your breath. Noticing at least one place in your body that you feel the movement of your breath. Something that is expanding as you inhale. And then relaxing and contracting as you exhale. I invite you to breathe naturally and follow your breath, noticing more and more places that move as you breathe. Tuning in to the various sensations and qualities of each inhale, and the various sensations and qualities of each exhale. This is a stabilizing meditation. Observe your breath with as much of your mental capacity as you can, with as much of your focus. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can start to tune into the passage of air through your nose or over your upper lip, finding a little bit more of a pinpoint spot. It's going to be a little bit more subtler to tune into. Whether you're focusing in on the sensations within your body or the passage of air, notice if your mind starts to wander. It's natural. And I invite you, if that does happen, to gently and without judgment, bring your mind back to your body with your breath. Focusing on the sensations of your breath, no more, no less. There's no real set amount of time that we have to do this. You're welcome to stay a little bit longer, or if you're ready to come out, I invite you to gently bring your mind back to the places of your body that make contact with your chair and your feet. You can congratulate yourself on the effort you've placed into your meditation practice. Feeling this connection to the earth and your chair, we're going to take some cleansing breaths. So I invite you to take a big inhale in through your nose and an open mouth exhale. 2 more times. Maybe make a sigh. 1 more on your own. Allow your breath to be natural, and maybe bring your palms together to the center of your chest. You're welcome to bow your chin into your chest with gratitude. As with everything you do, thank yourself for showing up. We can make a dedication that the efforts that we put into our physical practice, our breath practice, and our mental practice, that we hope that they ripen in a way to benefit all beings. And we can hope that our practice is more clever than our habits. From my heart to your heart, namaste. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining me today. It's an absolute honor, privilege, and pleasure to be able to share practice with you. I'm teaching here at Springmoor every Monday at 11 a.m. here in the Great Room, and on the South Side every Friday at 11 a.m. in the Wellness Center. So I hope to see you all in person. Again, my name is Ben. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and you're ready for your week. Thank you.